Cash. I work with these two, and and then sales. We all kind of do a lot of multiple task things. We all, when we come in to sell a job, you know, a lot of times you salesmen, you'll sell the job and you'll never see them again. We don't work like that. We attend construction meetings. That we insist that we have at least every 2 weeks, you know, and every week if the job's so warranted. And you will see us there, because we know that if we're making you happy when you're building down the street, your neighbors need somebody, they're going to remember us. We do so much of our business is referral, because we've been around for so long, and you know, we're doing buildings for the third time now. So in 30, you've been in the construction business in South Florida for 30 years. You've done a lot of things right. And we've had our little screw ups, you know. But you know, people who don't make mistakes don't do anything. So anyway, but we've been around for a long time, and we're really are doing stuff up in this area now. So we'd like to branch out further. So please keep us in mind. You know, Barbie's up here. She lives up here. I live in Broward. Caesar lives in Dayton. So this is where we're at.
Give us some ideas. You said you self-perform everything but the licensed trades. I understand that. Give us kind of an idea what sort of crews you have. What sort of stuff do you perform in-house?
We do, what we perform in-house is, number one, as Barbie said, we employ over 300 people.
Okay. No, I didn't hear that. I wasn't
we do
paying
not,
attention.
our painting crews are our crew. Our painting foreman has been with the company for 27 years.
Okay.
Okay. 29? I didn't think Carlos is that old. Anyway, but our restoration is all in-house. Our waterproofing is all in-house. Our painting's all in-house. As Barbie said, the rail installation, window installation, we all do in-house as well. We know we don't manufacture them, but we do all the installation ourselves.
Right.
The only thing we don't do in-house is electrical, plumbing, mechanical.
Licensed trades.
You know, and that's where we
sense.
need a specialty person in there anyway. Right. Most of the time, there's very little that need for what we do in that area. The biggest thing on electrical, we need to make sure that we have power to work our stages up and down. You know? Right. And that's usually a temporary.
And if I say post-tension, nobody gets wormy.
No, PT, we do PT. We do use a sub on some of our PT when there's so much of it. Because if you don't know what you're doing with PT cables,
well, you'll kill somebody.
somebody could get hurt very, very easily.
Marine Grand is a PT building, and we're just finishing up.
Yeah. So, but PT we don't do roofing. You know, I don't want to fix your roof. Although the boss says, yeah, we'll fix it. No, we don't fix it. You know, we have done interior, all renovations and painting, things like that. Do we like to do it? Not really. I don't. Caesar's an old Victor Moore guy. So anything with paint, Caesar knows all about. But you know, we are a full service company.
You guys union or open shop?
We're open shop, and we're also we're bondable.
Okay.
Well, you're general contractors, so you're top of the line.
I think so.
Yep.
Thanks for
The distinction doesn't mean everybody's on top of the line. You have to earn your way there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the license gets you far.
Yes.
Yeah, and as Barbie said, it is a family-owned business, and so the gentleman who started it is now spending more time on the boat and less time in the office.
That's whose number I need.
What we all like, and damn those cell phones.
And actually, he does share the boat. He does let us go.
We
have trips.
everybody gets to use the boat. He's a big fisherman. I'm a fisherman. She's a fisherman. I don't know, Barbie. You're not a fisherman. She's not a fisherman.
She goes on for the
But
ride.
I just share it.
Yeah, but he spends a lot of time on the boat, and but the son is taking over, and believe it or not, I've known the son since he was this big. So it's been a
And you're doing a lot of work, have done a lot of work with FSR in the past. You ever do any work with Bristol when Bristol still existed here?
I think they've done some painting jobs in the past, many years ago, because every time I mention a building, the boss will say, oh yeah, I painted that job, oh yeah, I painted that
Yeah.
building. So there has been some work that we've probably done in the past.
Yeah, it's been a while though, you know, but we just really actually, we're just starting a brand new job with First Services, Bel Air on the Ocean, which is down in Miami Beach, which is a $2.4 million building to start. We just started that one.
We have Berkeley South, which is in Pompano, and that's a full pool deck restoration. They have a landscape architect doing it. We got awarded, that's over $2 million.
You find your business is coming through the property management companies, or your business was built other places and property management is something pretty well new to your...
No, we've always concentrated on the property management business. The company actually started out painting apartments. That was what we did. And that's how I got to know the owner of the company, because I was in property management. I've done what you do. I've sat on the board of directors.
That explains all your
I've
gray
sat on the
hair.
whole thing. And trust me. And when I decided I had enough, I had enough, because I don't know exactly how it is up here, but I know how it is down there, and we've got some pretty tough cookies down there.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because it dovetails into the comment that I want to make. And people have known me in this room for a lot of years. When we had vendors come in, and used to have a vendor event every year. My attitude is this: it is your job to make me look good. Okay? So when I go in, and here's what happens to us, and you ought to know this if you have some experience. We take 5 bids. We get rid of the high, we get rid of the low, bails us down to 3. First question my board asks me is, well, who do you recommend?
Of course it
What do
is.
you like?
Yes.
Have they worked for you? So at the end of the day, you wind up endorsing the vendor despite the fact that they're the ones who make the choice. You wind up endorsing it. So when you mess up, your phone's not going to ring, but mine is. So that's kind of why I have that attitude. So I look at my vendors and my contractors to work hand in glove with their managers, because between us we have a client to satisfy. And once you become one of our vendors on a job, you're simply an extension of First Service Residential in the eyes of the people we're working for. Would you agree with that?
I agree with you 100%. And in fact, I think if you do check the references, which we have
Yeah, we have
2 of them, you will find that, like I said when we first came in here, we're not the company, the salespeople or the reps that come in and sell the job and bye-bye, well, good luck, we'll see you the next time around. We stay involved. So when the project manager's phone rings, mine rings. Okay, because I know that I'm going to be dealing with the property managers, I'm going to be dealing with the maintenance personnel, I'm going to be dealing with the residents if so necessary. But we, and the board members as well, but basically we're hands-on. We know that we're only as good, for this job and our next job, because that's what we want to get. We want the current job, but we want the next job, and the next job, and the next job. And that's how the company has been built in 30 years.
Cool.
Right.
Thank you for your candor.
Yeah, the other thing I want to mention too briefly is we have an OSHA 500 full-time guy on staff,
Well, that's good.
and he goes to all the job sites. So we do a lot of, we prepare a lot logistically, and we do 2-time talks with the guys. You'll always have a project manager, a foreman, a superintendent at the job, and all our guys are certified. I think they're 10 hours, and then the foremen have what, 30 or something?
30.
So we do keep up, because as you all know, safety is the first priority in any project, construction project.
Good.
Our forms are bilingual. They have to be. I speak Southern. I don't speak English. So they need to be, but Caesar, not a problem.
Yeah, that's why it's down Miami.
Yeah, that's the reason Caesar stays south. No, but they are bilingual, because we have to be able to communicate. Our people don't communicate with the residents; they communicate with our personnel. Our personnel communicate with you.
And you mentioned you're bondable.
We're bondable.
Up to 30, 24, 30, I don't know what it is today, but to change this.
How much we have out there right now, I know that we bonded Bel Air.
We bonded Berkeley,
We bonded Berkeley,
we bonded
we
Marina Grand.
we bonded
More than a
Waterbury.
million in bonds.
We probably have about 12 to 15 million dollars worth of bonds out there right now.
Okay.
Uh,
That's something good to know, because here's where I like to take this stuff. I like to get to know my general contractor well enough to tell my board of directors, don't waste your money on a bond,
I agree.
okay?
Yeah.
But it's rare for a bond to be cashed in. If you're going to the bottom line, you might want to think about bonding it. So that's kind of where I look for history, again, when we partner up on these bigger jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I bonded a $500,000 job. Typically, you know, the people want the bonds at the $1 million+.
And the big stuff, huh?
But, you know, I've had people want $500,000 bonds. And it's not a problem, you know, because at the end of the day, I mean, you know, the building's paying for it anyway, you know, and our bond rates are usually pretty good. I mean, we're in about 2.5% to 3%, which is pretty typical.
Good way to say,
It's not a bad bond rate.
No.
Have we ever not completed the job? No. Have we ever not made money on the job? Oh, yeah. And we've had a few of those too.
That's
you
what
know,
Dad
but-
always taught me, if you'd like to make a small fortune, get in the construction business with a large fortune.
I like that.
So that fortune is on a boat.
Don't let me interrupt your presentation.
Okay. All right, we're gonna kind of walk through this. Everybody continue. Everybody like cookies or anything? Any desserts?
No, everybody's too fat, go.
I'm not.
One of the things is that, you know, I'm not sure who does high rises, who does low rises and so forth. But, you know, one of the signs, there's multiple signs that I'm sure you already know, the things that when you're having problems and you're starting to realize it, your people are complaining about the slide left doors not wanting to open all the way. You see some, the post pockets on the balconies that hold your rails, they're settling down and water sitting inside of it. You got some small cracks underneath the windows. Those type of things are things you need to be aware of, because that means you're having bigger things. And these are some jobs that kind of overlook those items. They're on the ocean, which, you know, is, you know, salt water and steel. You know, it works real well together. And also what we're finding now too is that during the boom, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it's still going on now. We're doing buildings that are 7 years old. The Bel Air job, 7 years old. Doing a $2.5 million restoration.
Concrete restoration?
Concrete restoration.
Cool. Somebody
cable.
did good first time, didn't they?
PT cable is on, right on top of the slab.
This building is 8 years old. PT, full restoration, and water.
So you already had pocket form, I mean, all your pocket formers and all your wedges were getting to fail?
Yes. And this is actually, this building, a lot of you may know Susie Pasos. This is the building she's managing now. She used
Is
to
this in
be,
Miami?
this is in Miami Beach.
No, we really don't
This
know
is
much of anything like south of Okeechobee or
It's an interesting place south of Okeechobee, just so you know.
I heard there's some folks down there, yeah.
Great place to visit. But they, you know, they did back to the old thing is, they don't build them like you used to. It's true.
That's
They
true.
don't build them like you used to. They were building them so fast, you know, and everything used to be just mats of steel, and then they went to post tension, and post tension's great. I mean, you can do a lot of work with post tension cables, but unless you have the proper coverage, unless the ends are finished off properly, they can be a nightmare. Now, go ahead.
It's full restoration. Continue.
Continue. This is the job in Miami with the garages. One of the big problems that they have in Miami, everybody thinks that you're supposed to have gutters in your garage where the water comes through. And so instead of leaking on the car, and instead of fixing the problem above, they put a gutter just to take the water away. You know?
Where's David Winters?
Garages aren't supposed to have gutters. They're not, but I can tell you there's probably not one in South Dade or South Miami that doesn't have gutters in it. And because they're not fixing the problem, and this is what happens when you don't fix the problem. And that's money. That's, when we're doing that, that's a lot of money. This is kind of a common thing on what we have to do as far as a concrete repair. And if you know this, just please tell me, we'll move right on. But typically in your steel, you have two mats of steel. You have a lower and a bottom, a top. Once the engineer designates what area he wants us to do the excavation on the repairs, we dig it out, and you have to get proper clearance. We'll take it so far. He'll come out and look at it, so you got to go further. Then we have to clean the steel. If the steel more than 20% gone, we have to lap new steel on top of it. We have to prep it with rust inhibitor and coat it, and then we're allowed at that time to put it back. Okay, but this is a typical concrete spall.
Got an engineer you've worked with in the past, somebody you've worked with time and again? Throw some engineering names at me.
Romley Cook, Pisterin and Alam, M2E, Jim Bellevue and Associates.
Bunker Engineering is one of them.
Yeah, with
Steve Young, Steve Miller.
Roberto Hernandez, we're doing a lot of work with him now. Raz, we're doing a lot of work with.
Epic engineering.
Epic. You name them, we probably have worked with them at one time.
Cross paths with Specs, Swaisland.
Yes, Tim Spicer,
Yeah. I know Evan and I know Stan.
Yeah.
And Tomas.
See?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's Crane Engineering.
thank you.
Actually, I
Now I'm
have,
gonna go ask them, go ahead.
I have,
Mom's all over our ass, she has a schedule.
I have two jobs I'm bidding with Stan right now.
Okay?
And so, yeah, we're, they have a new baby. Evan has a daughter now, yeah.
Damn right.
Alan called Susan mom and she says, damn right.
Full depth repair. You can only go so deep, and when you go so deep, you have to go all the way. And so you have your partial depth repairs and you have your full depth repairs. This obviously is a full depth repair. Pretty typical edge repair. Expansion joint, above that you see the sealant with the back rod sealant. A lot of times we're using that. A lot of times we're using the M-seal, the expansion.
Yeah, we use those as our water entry place.
Yeah. Crack repair, which is basically epoxy injection. This is just another type of crack repair that we don't inject the epoxy. It's more or less trialed in. Beams and column repairs. Big problem in garages. Pretty typical stucco repair underneath the windows.
And
That's the cracks I was telling you about. When you see the cracks under the windows, that's what's going to happen to it if you don't take care of it. Pretty common edge repair. One of the things too that if you keep up with your painting cycle on your buildings,
that's last thing, the rebar.
Sandblasting the rebar.
you have to clean it. Sometimes we brush it, sometimes we wire wheel it. Usually the best way, and when you have a larger job, they want the sandblasting.
Wow.
Well, what I was saying about the painting, if you keep up your painting, you'll find that does help prevent a lot of your problems. I see people take a 7-year paint job and make it last 12 years. Then we start doing this.
This is a good example. This building is 8 years old, 9 years old. The engineer, and this is something I always recommend every property, interview engineers, hire your engineer, let him do a survey. And in this building, they did that, except they excluded the survey part. Engineer did a visual survey. When we started doing the stucco repairs, it was discovered that the stucco was 2.5 inches thick instead of 3/4 of an inch thick. That's why there's so much of it delaminating. We have to then build it out with wire mesh or fiberglass mesh in between coats to bring it up so it's sound and pure and doesn't come off again. Now, we only repair what we have. Obviously, next to this is 2.5 inches, just wasn't loose. Eventually, it will be. This building will go
Yeah.
through problems again in the future. So this is an excellent example of a newer property that